Hey girls, it's Tuesday! I missed last week, and last week I was supposed to review books, and I love reading all the time. All I do is read, so I will be reviewing them this week. One thing that I really believe in is that people should have personal libraries, like a bookcase with your own books that you buy, either, secondhand or new, because I don't know how many people like me are out there, but I like to write and highlight and annotate my books, and it's just pretty awesome to have these written in books all around. Anyway, so without further ado, I will show you some of my favorites on my bookshelf. Classic, Harry Potter. I own all 7. I own the 2 textbooks. I own Beedle the Bard and Harry Potter and Philosophy. And I have probably reread these books over and over at least more than 10 times. I almost have the first book memorized. Another classic, Edgar Allan Poe. This is my collection of his stories. I have another book of his poems, and I just really like the Gothic romanticism. It's really good, and yeah, it's Edgar Allan Poe. And if you were in high-level reading throughout elementary and middle school, you probably read The Giver. I don't know. I know my schools in Wisconsin, that's what we do as part of the curriculum for advanced reading. And everyone got sick of this book, and I probably read it 5 times, and I still like it. It's fantastic. I just started reading these when my brother got the book, actually. He doesn't like reading, and so I stole the book from him. But The Hunger Games. And I have not read the 2nd or 3rd book, so please don't, no spoilers. But I've read the first one, and they were phenomenal. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And it kept me reading and turning pages, and I'd be up till 11:30 at night reading this book because it was so great. I am a big fan of classic literature, and so I have probably read Little Women about 5 times now, 4 or 5 times. We're doing the play next year at school, and my dream role would be to be Jo March, and she's just one of my favorite characters. Another I got at the bookstore actually for $6. I was very surprised. But Jane Austen. This is my only copy of any Jane Austen books, but I really, really like Sense and Sensibility. Pride and Prejudice is wonderful. It takes forever to get through because it's difficult. It's difficult to read, but I finished it and it was great. And I really liked Persuasion and Emma were fantastic. I actually named my dog Emma. Now, a necessary thing in every book lover's library is the complete works of Shakespeare. And I really love this book. It's old. I actually got it from my great aunt as a present. That's from her. This was her book. I have pencil written in here because I do not believe in highlighting the fantastic tome of Shakespeare. My favorite play of his would have to be Hamlet. I have the majority of the to be or not to be speech memorized. That's probably one of my favorite soliloquies in all of Shakespeare's writing. We read Romeo and Juliet last year. I didn't like it. I think they were both brash characters. They were 15, their hormones were taking over, and I think it was just a little over the top. Another favorite I have is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I'm actually reading it for a project right now, so I'm like halfway through, and I'm almost done with it, and it's so good. I love it. And her writing, I've read her poetry, and it's fantastic. And we had to do a biography project on her, and her life was incredibly sad, especially towards the end, but she was a genius. Her writing was fantastic. Almost done. Another favorite I have, Sherlock Holmes. I have volume 1. I have yet to get volume 2, but I've read about halfway through this book, and I read it when I feel like a good story, and these aren't really long novels, they're stories, and I really like them. And last, but definitely not least, Oscar Wilde's plays. I have his plays. I have read The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I love that book so much, but I have yet to buy it. So, yeah, and I really like The Importance of Being Earnest. I think it's actually quite funny. I watched the 70s movie on Netflix, and I actually did laugh. It was great. But, yeah, and I really, really enjoy Oscar Wilde's writing as well. So hopefully that was a small insight into some more literature for you and your library. Books that I do not have, which I do recommend you to read, are all of John Green's books. He and Hank are the Vlogbrothers, and I watch their videos all the time. And I have to say my favorite book of his is either Looking for Alaska or Paper Towns, and I can't decide which. And then also the book he wrote with David, I don't know how to pronounce his last name correctly. I'm gonna butcher it probably, but I'm gonna guess it's I don't know. Leviathan, I think. I'm not sure, and I'm really positive that's wrong. But it's called Will Grayson, and I really enjoyed that book as well. So yeah, if you have any other books that I probably haven't read, definitely tell me, because I love to read new books. And my favorite book, which I'm lending to a friend right now, is called The Girl with the Pearl Earring, and it's by Tracy Chevalier, and it's about the painting by Johannes Vermeer, and it's fantastic. Her books are all historical fiction, and I really enjoy them. That's the end of Tuesday's video. Shauna, I will see you tomorrow.